Uh, I know there's a lot of people in the world who ask, why does God allow evil? How can God be good if He allows suffering? And why doesn't God come down? Why can't we see God? Why isn't there hard proof of why God exists? But I mean, there's enough evidence of a God, for a God. And if you think about it, what's the alternative? Evolution? I mean, evolution every day is pointing more and more towards false. So, if evolution is false, there has to be a creator, there has to be a God. And if there's a God, He wouldn't make this life and want nothing to do with it. He wouldn't not interact with it. So if He has interacted with it, there would be evidence, and there is evidence. And you look for the evidence, and you can find the evidence. There's evidence. You can find out which God is true, which faith is true. You have to open your heart and look. But it's there. God is there. And God allows evil and suffering. But that's not God's doing. God didn't want that to be. God created the earth. He said it was good. He created the animals. He created the sun, the moon. He created everything. He said it was all good. He created the Garden of Eden. Put man in the Garden of Eden. And life was good. Life was truly good. There was no death. And God gave us the world. And He told us that we would have dominion over the land and over the animals. And that's a very beautiful thing. But it is us. We're the ones that rebelled. We're the reason why there's evil and suffering. But God still loves us, you know? It's like if you have a toddler and your toddler hits another kid, you know? You're still gonna love him. You're not gonna be like, what's wrong with you? You're not gonna lock him up in prison for the rest of his life. You're gonna love him and give him more chances. It's exactly what God is doing. So that is why God allows evil and suffering. But God promises us through the Bible that there will be a new heaven and a new earth, and He will defeat death and He will defeat sin. So, life now, why there's evil and suffering, this is such a small part of a very big picture. God promises us eternity, but the Bible teaches humanity has existed for 6,000 to 7,000 years. That's nothing compared to eternity. If you think about that, just picture that. 6,000 to 7,000 years to eternity. This is like 1,000,000,000 years. Eternity is so huge, such a small part. So that's why God allows evil and suffering. It's not about now, but God is in the process of making the perfect world and the perfect heaven. But the only way to get there is if you acknowledge that, and you see the evidence, you seek to find who God is. And to that is how that's how you find your way into life. We have these weak, feeble bodies. God promises us new bodies where we won't thirst and we won't be hungry and we won't stress and we won't feel pain. Like, these are all promises from God. These are all good promises. And these are real. And I know a lot of people are hurt and lonely and they're just missing something, but that something is God. We're made in His image. We're made to have a relationship with Him. We're made to know Him. But just remember, it's not God's fault why there's bad in the world. The bad is our fault. But God promises, if you trust in me, I got your back. And it doesn't have to be bad forever.